So you get a model and you have two split pieces and you want them to work as if it's all one mesh, right? So as you can see, this one here is its own geometry, and so is this one. So first, you skin the model. So I can just select the joints here, take off the skin, geo, select the joints, select the torso, skin, selected joints, so joint hierarchy doesn't matter. Closest distance, 5. And I click the joints for the arm. I skin those. So now when I move the arm, it's attached to the same skeleton, but it's moving independently, and you want this to consistently match. So basically, what you want to do is you get the pieces of geometry you're given. Well, this is at least how I do it. And let's just focus on this. We can group it and we can call it proxy geometry. Are you okay? That's all right. We call it proxy. And basically, this is the part where you start remodeling the geometry to suit your favor. You can do this a lot so that you can actually manipulate the sometimes you're given stuff with bad topology, sometimes you're given things with just stuff that's harder to skin in your favor. So sometimes the original geometry is high mesh and you can create something that's low, and you can still use this method, it will work. So anyway, we duplicated it, we have the same geometry, it's still split the exact same way. Yeah, so the first thing to do is to unsplit it. So let's go here, let's take this, let's delete this, let's go back, let's take this, and let's delete that. And now we want to bridge this to make it more clearer for you. We can move this more to the left. Unlock, move it to the left. We want this. All right. So take both of them, combine them, go back, go to the edge, click this one, bridge it, and we're basically going to create the polygons like that. So obviously I don't want to ruin where the positions originally were, so I'll move it back. Now I'll do it from here. Take this one, combine it. If you don't know what I'm doing, I'm guessing you do. I'm holding shift, I'm taking it, I'm holding shift, I'm right clicking, and it's there. Go to edge, press F, make it easier for yourself. And here we can see a bit more clearly. Take this side, bridge it. Same here, take this side. Also, it's somewhere here as well. If you hold shift, right click again, you can bridge. Click here, hit click here, hold shift, right click, hit bridge. Click here, hold shift, right click, hit bridge. Cool, so now it's one. Now what we can do is we can bring back in the skeleton, okay, and we can select all these joints again and completely skin all of them. So now if we bring in the control, as you can see, this is moving like one, right? But you probably had this if you skinned it already, but the point is that when you start skinning this area, that's when it keeps breaking apart. But now it won't because it's all one mesh, right? So if I take the top here, and I start skinning it more to this area, you know, it's gonna now move the whole section, right? So now we have a fix of the solution, which is currently in front of us. Once you have what you want on the proxy mesh, you know, and it's moving lovely, what you want to do now is projection. The projection, I'm going to hide the proxy group for a second, will only work if the thing it's projecting on has the same bones assigned to it. So when we right click and click on this geometry, we have joint one, you know, all of this, but we don't have all the joints. If we click on the proxy and we hide the chest and the arm, paint skin weights, we should have a lot more to it, I think. Or was it the same? I don't know. Anyway, so to double check, what you want to do is on the original, even if you just weighted the arm to here and the chest bones to this, you want to make sure the chest has all the joints and you want to make sure the arm has all the joints. Because on the proxy side, the one mesh has all the joints. So you want to make sure they're practically the same, right? So we select all of them just to make sure. Select the, not the proxy one. Did I take it out of the proxy? I did take it out of the proxy. God damn it. So you want to make sure the chest has all of the joints assigned. We go to skinning, we go to edit influences, add influence. In this checkbox, use geometry and lock the weights. If you lock the weights and then go into painting tool, you can see the new weights you have. This one, this one, this one, which is the arm. You can unlock them, but just don't skin them. You lock them because the moment you apply this effect, if you didn't lock the weight, if you didn't hit that checkbox, it would automatically apply weighting, which means that any weighting you had prior would be destroyed. So the same for the arm. Take all the joints, select the arm, skin, edit influence, add influence, checkbox, lock weights, add. Cool. So now no matter what you select, it has all of the joints in the hierarchy. If you select this chest, it has all of the joints in the hierarchy. And on the proxy geo, we select this, it has all the joints in the hierarchy. Now, it's as simple as this. You have the original geometry that you're given. You have the proxy geometry that you're given. Original, proxy. You want to say the thing that you want to project is first. The thing that you want it to be projected on is second, in the sense of selection. So you pick the chest, because I want to project the proxy chest. I want to project the skinning of the proxy chest onto the skinning of the original chest. Then I go to skin, copy skin weights, checkbox. In this checkbox, you have all these different options. My favorite option is closest point on surface, because when you create a proxy, you're kind of using the original geometry, which means these vertices are lining up, right? So the closest point is going to work best. your settings will probably be like this. So closest point on surface. I don't like to use joint. I like to use one-to-one, which again is going to vertices. And the second association is one-to-one. Third, it doesn't matter because you shouldn't get that far. Press apply. And then we do the same for the arm, because remember in this, it contains the arm geometry as well. So now we're projecting the chest skinning to the arm skinning. Again, skin, copy skin weights, one-to-one, closest point on surface. Cool. So now if we hide the chest, and we actually no. So now I'll show you. If you hide the original stuff and you go back to the chest, and this is the skinning you had, right? This is something that you was fine with. You did your proper skinning on the proxy version, which we're looking at, and it was great. You loved it. Cool. It moves like this, and your proxy, your original one, should move now the exact same way. So if I do this and you switch to this, you should see it now lines up one-to-one. Okay, cool. So that was your first question. Your second question was buttons. So if I quickly make a button, you're going to be so mad when I show you how easy it is now in Maya, in the latest Mayas. I think Maya 2021 and up. So you have a button like this, and I'm not going to skin it because I'm pretty sure you know that if you skin it between this and this, how it looks, it will start floating between the joints. So that there's this new rigging tool called rivets. Usually beforehand, we had to go into simulation and create a hair follicle, since that can stick to the geometry in any position, and you'll slap the button on that. But now it's been made a lot easier. So if you select the geometry and you right click, go to vertices, and you select anywhere you want it, hopefully you have the way the button is, hopefully it's as close to a vertex as possible. So I'm going to select this one right underneath it, and then I'm going to go to constrain, and you'll click rivet. All this does, if I take the button away, because I did nothing with the button, I'll show you again. If I hide the button, all I did was I select the chest, vertex, select the vertex point, go to constrain, go to rivet. What this does is, no matter how you move it, it creates a locator which is now constrained to this location on the geometry. So no matter what I do, it moves there. So now it's as simple as taking the button and parenting it under the rivet. So now when you move the geometry, the button moves with it. If that makes any sense. Cool. Let me know if you don't have the latest versions of Maya. If not, I will show you how to do it the old-fashioned way, which is a bit longer, but then it will be a whole video just dedicated to it, and it will only take, I think, 5 minutes of your time to watch.